Hello everybody, we are Breaking Paranormal UK. My name is Luke.
I'm Kim.
And this is our very first attempt at doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Probably be a failure, but we'll give it a
Well, it's called Breaking the Silence.
Breaking the Silence.
Which I don't know if I even like that title because it sounds like Breaking the Silence sounds like someone's gonna have a fart. If you know what I mean, like let's be silent for a minute.
What?
I just broke the silence. Do you get it?
Get it. So you're saying you want to change the name?
I don't know. Maybe anyone listening or watching, if they could think of a better name, let us know. Or if you like the name, let us know. But we thought Breaking Paranormal, Breaking the Silence, it goes together, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Am I just talking rubbish?
Bit both.
Already. But yeah, so over the next couple of weeks, when we can, we would like to do different subjects around the paranormal. I've been involved now in the paranormal for 10 years. In fact, it was literally 10 years because on Facebook I got a memory thing come up, and the first event I went to was 10 years ago yesterday. So I'm going to class that as experience.
Yeah.
Even though I was a guest.
Probably went to my first abandoned building exploration. I was about 16, 17, so that was...
How old are you now?
I'm 32 now, so I've been doing it a few years.
Old,
yeah. So we're just going to share our experiences with you on these podcasts. Obviously get different people on to have a chat with us about different subjects.
Yeah, so tonight our subject is whether or not the paranormal is taken seriously in the mainstream media. So mainstream media, we mean, TV shows, magazines, radio shows, even lives. Lives are really took off on social media. So anything like that. And we're going to have Glenn, who's also part of our team. I'm saying a lot.
He'll be our first guest tonight.
He'll be our first guest. So he'll be popping on later on in the show to give us his opinion, and he'll probably waffle on himself, and good luck in trying to understand a word he says because he is a Geordie. It's not his fault.
We'll try and put subtitles on, but we'll probably won't be able to understand him.
Can't understand him. We just normally just go,
nod.
agree with whatever he says.
Which is probably what people do with me as well, but...
Yeah. So we firstly look at what people have said on our group, because I did a poll on our group to see what I was going to say guess, but they're not, what are they? If they're in our group.
Just, I don't know, fans?
No, they're not fans. You made me cringe a bit then. Viewers?
Paranormal friends.
Yeah.
We'll call them friends.
Friends. That's, if you hear any noises in the background, it's not a ghost, it's the rabbit.
Just a rabbit.
He's getting aggressive because he wants to get
kicking
out.
off. He wants to get his ass on this live.
He wants to join in, doesn't he?
It's not live. We're talking about lives.
So yeah, we'll look at the votes first. I just need to go on my phone. Just give me a second.
Should have had all these printed off. Women.
Right. So, I asked, is the paranormal taken seriously in the mainstream media? And all I put was a simple yes, no. And we've had 18 votes that have gone to no. And then we've had Mike, who's added another category on there, saying no due to lack of
unequivocal proof.
How'd you say it? Unequivocal proof. What does that mean again?
Basically, like, it's ambiguous, isn't it?
What do you mean? I think
proof is like
lack of proof.
Lack of real proof. It's like if you get, you're saying there's more proof on UFOs than there is ghosts, kind of thing. I think.
Okay.
I think that's what it's said in one of the comments anyway.
Well, that could be the word of the show.
Yeah,
Unequivocal. Unequivocal.
Mike, what's unequivocal mean?
He can't answer you, Lou. We're not live. Maybe he could answer after.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's had 2 votes for that, and yes, no one's voted yes. So I feel like that's pretty much
says it all, doesn't it?
Says it all. But I've had a few comments, so I'll read through the comments. As we'll read through them, we'll discuss what they've said. So the first comment that is on here is from Ian with an E-I-O-N. I've never. It's a different way of spelling it. I thought it was I-A-N. Ian.
It's a bit like Sean, isn't it? You got how many spellings for Sean?
Well, yeah, true. So he said, I think it's slowly changing for some paranormal subjects like UFOs, but ghost still gets some sniggers, and I think that is down to the ghost hunting shows, mainly American. And Mike's also agreed with him on this, and he said, Mike has said UFO are real, far more evidence opposed to ghosts, which is what you just said a minute ago. Mike's obviously a UFO type of guy, and I'm more into ghosts. I'm not one.
I'm a bit both.
You do like,
I like me ghosts.
your aliens.
I like me aliens.
But I think Ian's made an interesting point about ghost hunting shows, mainly American.
Mm.
So I was thinking what he said there, and I actually think it's a bit unfair because if you think about it, I mean, I know you got like shows like Ghost Adventures, which has become, the more it's gone on, it's more about demons and the extreme. But you have got shows like Taps, Ghost Hunters, and they're quite skeptical in the way they investigate. So they literally will look for proof, and they will try to debunk everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you've watched Taps, haven't you?
Yeah.
So I think that's just a bit unfair of him to just say mainly
not
American.
Not all American.
So I think
it's like you've got the shows in obviously the UK. You've got your serious ones and you've got your not so serious ones. It's probably about anywhere really, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think with Taps, out of all the ghost hunting shows, what's more like actual ghost hunting, what it's like in real life, I think that Taps sort of is it. It is mainly you jot cameras everywhere. You ask for something to happen. And if something does happen, you go out your way to try and debunk it, just to make sure that it is, paranormal. And yeah, I just think that's more what it's really like.
Yeah.
There's no real added sort of tension or dramatics in their show. And I think there was one point where they did have a medium on the show, I think, if I remember rightly, but it is mainly just ghost hunters, aren't they? They're not.
Yeah. Probably with normal jobs.
Not sensitives. Well, by day, he's a plumber, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's where is that where they got the name Taps?
I think it stands for something. I can't remember
what. Are you sure it's not? Because his team's called Taps because in the day he's a plumber and he has to deal with a lot of taps. Yeah, I thought I'd just stick up for the Americans a little bit there because they get a bit of stick, I think. I mean, we came up with Most Haunted. We can't really talk, can we?
But again, that started off good. That's
That
what probably got us into it ourselves.
Yeah, which is what I want to talk about a bit more in a minute. But first we'll just get through the comments because I want to read a few more comments. So, another comment is Mark, who's been on a few events with us, who's a big skeptic. He says he agrees with Ian. American shows tend to exaggerate things. I find that YouTube has the best paranormal shows. It winds me up when they ask for a noise or movement, then scream when it happens.
Okay, Matt. That's a fair comment. I think YouTube is getting bigger for paranormal shows. I think you've got all the teams, obviously that there is out there. There's hundreds of them now. So we try and put our evidence on YouTube, so other people can actually see what it's really like to investigate, and not just for basically mainstream media, TV. where they just do it to keep the show on the air, to get the viewers in. Obviously, it's not for us. It's not for entertainment purposes. For TV, it is. Like for YouTube, it's not. TV is kind of thing. If you get what I'm saying.
I think that YouTube gives other teams a chance to show what they're about as well. So say like teams like us, we'd probably be cast as a small team, and I think it gives people a chance to see what we're about. Yeah. And I mean, for us, the paranormal is literally, for us, it's a hobby that we enjoy, and we just want to capture evidence.
Yeah.
And the way I edit our videos is I try to put a bit of everything in. So even if it's quiet, I tend to leave those little bits in to show that it's quiet, because I think one of the problems with TV shows is a lot happens and it comes across as unrealistic.
Yeah.
Whereas if you show those bits where it's quiet, it shows how it really is when you investigate. Because a lot of the times when you go out to investigate, nothing really happens. So I think that's important, and I feel like these TV shows don't really show that.
No, they don't. Obviously, they just want to capture the evidence and get you to see what it's grab you, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. So I think there's one more comment on here from Kyla. Kyla has said, wow, it's a bit of a longer comment. It isn't taken seriously. There is a lot of drama in the field, and some teams don't even take themselves seriously and party and drink. They break into locations and make a mess of things, and when teams do try to work together, things can go wrong on the business end of it, and both teams can react badly, which also leads to more drama and bad reps. And blocked locations. Para-unity has become a utopian dream that is no longer about science and advancing in the field. Well, I think what she said there is touching on other things that could be a problem in the paranormal. But one thing I do agree with her is the location side, about it giving paranormal a bad reputation, because I have heard of some locations we've gone to and we've gone, oh, we'd love to investigate here, and they've turned around and they've gone, no, because I know what you ghost hunters are like. You're just going to throw things around, you're just going to fake stuff, you're going to damage the property.
Well, it's like what locations we have been to, you've been talking to the management, and then they said, oh, you get talking about teams, and then they said, oh, you waited this team, and I'm not having them back because of what they did last time. They wrecked the place. They left all the stuff everywhere. That can give people a bad rep on that end of it.
Yeah. So I can see where she's coming out.
Obviously, though, there's a lot of drama and jealousy in the paranormal field. We'll touch on that another time.
It's not really.
It's not about what we want to do today. So.
Yeah. Shall we find out what Glenn has to say?
We'll get Glenn
call Glenn
on Zoom and see what he has to say.
How's it getting on? He's alright.
Yeah, you.
I'm good, man. Sideways.
Try and get a full body view though.
Oh,
that's better actually.
There he is.
Quite nice actually. How's it getting on? How's the lockdown treating you?
Where are you?
Hey.
I'm in Ripon at the minute. We haven't been put in tier 3 or anything yet. Still bars are open until about 10 o'clock.
Oh.
Just face masks everywhere. Yeah, Ripon, yeah, it's where I work, isn't it? So I'm based at,
Cool.
Can you wear us on here then?
I can hear you, I can hear you.
What's it sound like? Does it sound good?
Yeah, perfectly fine, like a FaceTime call, really.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, that's it then. Bye. See ya.
Cheers for coming.
We just wanted to test it.
Oh, testing.
So yeah, we're asking him the question then, Luke.
Well, you're introducing it first for the fans.
Oh yeah, for the fans.
For the fans. This
is Glenn.
Hello.
Oh.
Well, hello there.
You can edit all this, can't you?
Yeah, I can edit all this. I might just leave it in.
Like.
I might. Oh, you're gone.
No. Fat thumbs. I went to go and turn it and I pressed the fucking lock button.
So yeah, for those that don't know, this is Glennis. He's part of Breaking. You've been in the team for about a year. Is it a year? It might be 2 years now, isn't it?
Maybe 2 years now, I think it is, yeah.
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
2 years we've had to put up with him. So But we've been saying we wanted to get on with this podcast for like
For a while, definitely.
ages
For a while,
now.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know you definitely wanted to like be a part of a podcast because you're quite a
Oh,
fan of
yeah, definitely.
podcasts.
Yeah,
aren't you?
I love podcasting that, like, but it's just like how I think it's like modern way of investigating sometimes because it's nice to get your voice out there for people. In my
Yeah.
eyes, as well.
Yeah.
And
What
just something having the
podcasts do you
background
listen
music.
to then? Off the top of your head?
I've got this Paranormal Society. It's 2 Irish lads that live in London, and
Yeah.
it's like a comedy paranormal podcast. It's quite good, like all the ones that like you find on Google and stuff like that, and there's some quite good stories in there, and just make a laugh out of it all. But it's all it ranges from like UFOs, from ghosts to poltergeists all the way throughout, and it's quite a good banter, to be fair. And there's another one of Scared to Death, and that's 2 Americans that do it. The bloke's an actual comedian, but him and his missus do it together, and it's actually quite good, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like he gets them all off stories and that, but what she does, so they'll split in half. So for example, Luke will get the ones of all the stories, and they'll do 2 stories each. And then what she does on her behalf, so Kim will get the ones of people like real life events. So people will send them stories, and then she'll read them all out in the podcast and that. And then obviously because it's videoed, they'll if you like watch it on YouTube or something, they'll show the photos and all the proof and stuff like that.
That's cool.
But obviously it's on Spotify. I listen more on Spotify anyway, so you don't really get to see that much. But there's a way people link it, but I think we've got to get certain people to chip in and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
It is good. It's just nice to have background music when you're doing a dinner or something. It's just nice to have them on the background and stuff.
Yeah. When you're doing the dishes and that.
That's what I do because I'm domesticated. That's why I'm
Yeah,
domesticated.
you are, ain't you?
Oh yeah. You got to put subtitles on this one, I think, for me.
Yeah, we are. I was going to say we are going to need subtitles. I think we're going to need subtitles for Luke and then subtitles for you. I think I talk quite clear.
Do you subtitles
Okay.
for?
If I talk too fast, just let us know.
Sometimes you stutter, don't you? And you go, and you're like, what? That's how you go.
Yeah.
But I feel like Glenn understands you when you go off like that. So.
Possibly, yeah, easy. It's easy. I'll be his translator. It's just horrible because I can't come down there with you because it's a nightmare because there's COVID situation. It'd be classic all together, you know.
We're now, aren't we? So
yeah.
people over at the minute.
No, because that's what we would have done. We would have had Glenn and Jackie round.
Yeah.
And we would have had a full,
We would have been
4
around
of
this
us.
table, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we would have had a right little discussion.
I think we've got interesting to be fair, especially because she's Scottish, isn't she? So.
Oh God, yeah, all the accents in one.
Geordie, Scottish, Grimsby, and Nottingham.
Yeah.
Absolute close to that.
So right, should we crack on?
Should we ask him a question?
Ask some questions.
Yeah. So obviously this one's going to be about paranormal media, and what we wanted to know, Glenn, was what do you think? Do you think that the paranormal is taken seriously in the mainstream media?
You see mainstream media in the sense of, in my eyes, we see it. This like the way we do it is we actually look for evidence of an actual like poltergeist or a general scientific value for me. That's what I see it as. There's some people out there, so you look on TV and stuff like that, it does see beforehand, like for entertainment purposes and that. But you're watching it, it's just like cheesy, it's over dramatic, it's a bit too much at times, you know what I mean? Like when we've sat there in investigations, and like Luke said beforehand, it's like fishing. Some nights you get like quite a bit of information, or you get quite a bit of evidence and stuff that you generally can't explain. Whereas some nights you get nothing at all. And then we've got to the point sometimes we've actually sat down as a group and was like, is there any point in doing this anymore? But then you see something on TV or you see something in the newspaper, ghost caught on camera, and you're like, oh, it's interesting that. You watch the things on YouTube and there actually is some decent things that you generally can't explain, like video cameras, CCTV footage. And I'm like, I can't explain that. And I think that's quite cool. And that gets you more interest built up.
Yeah.
But I think on a serious note, there's that many people doing it now, and there's no fault of that. There's that many people who want to get the rights. In my eyes, we're trying to do a thing together. Like that para-unity stuff, it's more, we all want to get the same goal, is prove something else is different or something else is out there. But the way some people go about it is a bit too much and too far. And it's like, you're making stuff out of it. I'm not saying like trying to falsify people, but I think it's just a built up or made up scenarios, and they're trying to like over exaggerate what's actually happening. And that's my belief on it. I think it gets to a point where that many people are doing it.
Like you say, with the paranormal, you got that many groups of people.
Yeah.
You got the group that think it's the easy way to becoming a celebrity.
Yeah.
You got the people that do views. people that do it for the, like you say, the attention on the social media and stuff. And you've got probably the group that just does it for the just for the get like, you know what I mean, get the evidence.
The thing is, with us as Breaking Paranormal, if we get a good evidence hit, I think personally we might get a big fan base. I think it might be a good one, but it might just might be one evidence hit we get, and it's really good solid evidence, and then that's it for a couple of weeks or a couple of months. We won't get nothing else.
Yeah.
We're not going to go out. I'm not going to go out our way to make something up to say we've got a new EVP, we've got a smart. But that one that I saw of you doing the beach caves, that woman laughing, that was, to me, that was a great one.
Yeah, that was weird.
Class, yeah.
We didn't even hear that on the night.
No.
It's not until we got back home and actually
played it back.
Yeah, because I enjoyed that one. I thought it was really, to me, it's a solid EVP, solid.
But if you notice, Glenn, with that episode, after that voice, nothing much more really happened.
No.
It was just quiet. But I made the point of leaving those bits in there because I think it's important that people do see the bits where nothing much is happening.
Yeah.
Because I think when there's too much evidence and there's too much going on, it becomes unrealistic.
Well, that goes back to the question that you asked. Yeah, it goes back to the question that you asked. Do people take it seriously? And you see that, and the people do cram a lot of evidence in one certain area, but you don't get evidence every time.
No.
So and then people then you see people on Facebook and stuff like that, and they're doing like the laughy emojis and they're doing like silly comments and that, like it's not real and stuff like that. But we understand that there's some bits that we actually can, in a sense, what is debunk, like noises, knocks on doors and that we can understand, like an old building, and we actually get the point of that. But we prove we do that. We don't say, oh my god, it's so and so and so and so.
Yeah.
But there is some people who just cram it all in.
Yeah, people, they get skeptics like that. So they love the paranormal, that watch all these shows, and they think, they get all this activity. Say, I don't know, something gets thrown, something heavy or something like that, and you speak to that person about it, or something like you say, a skeptic or someone about it.
Yeah.
Then they assume that you're like, oh yeah, is it always like that?
Yeah.
Kind of thing, or for the activity wise. And then when you tell them it's not, that it kind of puts it down on their beliefs as well.
It's one of the things for us, though. It's one of them ones where we've had a couple of investigations where we've actually had a lot going on. Yeah. But it hasn't been not like what you see on TV in that way. People's getting dragged out of beds and stuff like that, and people floating in midair because they've got to be a bloody strong bloke to lift me in midair, like, you know what I mean? But I mean, it's nothing like that. I think it's over exaggerated at times, and the way people put it, like, there's certain episodes that you see on TV, it does make good TV at times, and I respect that because it is actually quite entertaining for me sometimes to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think it's some people who just go over the top with it, and then we get laughed at in the media because of certain things that's been going on, or you're just copying people. Well, Breaking Paranormal's been around for only 3 years now, 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years, yeah.
Yeah. Is it 4 years?
It's coming up 4 years. Well, 4 years next year, yeah.
Yeah. So,
but we don't go about and try and prove stuff in that sort of sense. We don't go around and start throwing stuff in as a one on YouTube videos. Like Kim was saying, she leaves the rest of the investigation going on to show that we've had one or two really good, I would say, strong evidence.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it is just proof of, over the whole course of the night, you've condensed it like 40 odd minutes. And it just goes to show that nothing actually happens all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think as well, like with events, because when we go back to events, sometimes we get people come on because they've seen shows and they've seen what it can be like and they've seen how extreme it can be. I think a lot of people come thinking, oh, it's going to be like that. And then they get a bit of a shock because actually they find out they're just sat there talking to a table at like 3 a.m. in the morning and they're tired.
It's definitely true that it is, because we've had that before.
Saying, "Oh, I paid all this money to come on this just to sit here and nothing's happening."
Yeah,
kind of thing.
I'll admit when I hear that though, I do admit it is disheartening for me because I feel bad for them.
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna go out my way. Like, we don't go away and just start making noises just so that people can get their money's worth.
Exactly.
Like, but for me though, watching them TV programs, I'll admit it gives a lot of information. And I think like the magazines and that, they do put a lot of information in of like the kit and equipment we use and stuff like that, if you can't watch it on actual TV shows. But then you see something like, see The Sun, for example, and that woman who suddenly decided to get married to a ghost and stuff. And I think to me it's a bit tower, come on. No wonder we get laughed at.
Yeah. I think things like that, I think that's what makes it into a bit of a joke. I think that's when people just don't take it seriously. It's like,
I don't blame him. Personally, I don't blame
him. No. But then who are we to say, oh, she's not gone through that? Maybe,
oh yeah, definitely. I'm not criticising that. I mean, we're having
being genuine.
It's like when people like when I'm watching our videos and that, and I'm like, I wasn't there. And like, say, watch like for example, like the BPUK and all the YouTube, we do put everything on what we can do on Facebook anyway. But it's like for me when I was watching the TV shows, how are you meant to believe that if you're not there in person?
Exactly.
If that makes sense. And I'm sitting there watching you guys. I'm like, I wish I heard that because I wish I was there. But for me, the better buzz you get is when you're there and experiencing it and stuff like that, you know. But that's why some people are like, oh, I'm not there, I'm not experiencing it. I don't believe it.
Yeah,
but then come along to the next one and we'll show you what it's like.
Yeah, because I bet like some people that might have watched that particular episode on YouTube, the Beach Caves one, could have listened to that because we're not actually in front of the camera when that noise is being made. They'd probably go, oh, it's one of them. If you don't know us, if that's the first time you've watched us,
because it wasn't any of your laughs. To me, I knew straight away it wasn't any of it. It was like
you know our voices, so you would know what would be us and what wouldn't.
I know you snort anyway, so.
It's like if all of us was in front of that camera, and you got something walk past the camera or walk past us, you put that on YouTube, it's instantly going to say, yeah, no, that's fake. People are instantly going to say it's fake.
There's a mixed one though. Like I see people like you see things like on other social media sites and Facebook and stuff, for example, of other teams putting their information on, and people saying, "Oh, can you take screenshots and that?" And there's that case of is it paraphernalia?
Paranoia.
Paranoia. Sorry, yeah. And you see things in the dark.
Last night.
Yeah, and you see things in the dark, like people taking screenshots, and to them they believe that it looks like a face. Then you can actually say like, actually, it's a reflection of the like UV light or something. You know, it's a reflection of something. But to be fair though, if you generally are a firm believer, I wouldn't back down your case. I wouldn't say it's bad. I'd defend you in such, but I'll say, listen, I think you've got the wrong end of the stick in that sort of view. But I wouldn't turn them down. But some people go straight at them with really bad negative comments and that.
Yeah.
But the guy generally thought that was something to face or something there, you know what I mean? It's not, why have you got to put him down for?
Yeah.
If he generally firmly believes, that's his belief, and it's his opinion. Or her opinion, sorry.
Exactly.
I got told the other day, people only watch us. I asked them on YouTube because we don't say it's paranormal straight away. Like we kind of leave it to the viewers to
decide.
Viewers' discretion, isn't it? Yeah.
The thing is with us, we're a good mixture of groups. It's like with us, like, a good mixture of personalities and that. And like, see, I like to be more of an aggressive approach when I find nothing's happening. So I'll try and be more aggressive in the investigation, try and get like provoke something out.
Yeah.
And with Luke's totally fine walking around stuff. It's until something happens apart from that Robin Hood experience where he tried to kill James.
What, when he grabbed him here and Jim's foot on the floor?
that was unbelievable.
James, what are you doing?
I didn't do nothing. Oh, it was such a good experience, that. But it's stuff like our personalities. You get people like Kim's the one who's very thoughtful. You'd be more
thoughtful.
You wait for I would say you're more thoughtful investigating because you wait for something, and then nothing. You won't provoke anything, but you'll ask questions. Yeah. And sometimes you will get. I think there's methods and ways to do it, and I think you've got a better voice for it. Whereas I'm just like a straight to the point. Nothing's happening. Right, I'll go away. I think Luke's he's the same with that sort of sketch. But then I think James is the more scientific one. I haven't really had an investigation with Jackie in that yet, but Lisa's the one that feels everything. So in my eyes, I'll bounce off her. If she feels uncomfortable with something, then I'll go around that sort of scenario. You kind of bounce off each other.
Yeah.
But if we're all the same and always trying to make something out of something, it's not how it works these days.
No. And I think it's good for viewers as well, because then they can relate to someone. I can't even get my words out. They can relate to one of us, maybe, you know.
Yeah.
They think, oh, that's how I would be, or...
Yeah.
It's a good mixture, like you say.
Definitely. If we're all the same personality, it wouldn't get anywhere.
No. And like I say, I think it's good to have, say, like James, he's quite sceptical. So he would probably think of the logical reasons why something is happening. And then you've got, like, say, Lisa, who's sensitive. And then, like you say, you can bounce off her because you can ask her if she's feeling anything. Yeah.
Because to me, it feels... Because sometimes I've had the feeling sometimes where you've walked in, you just don't feel comfortable, or you feel someone's watching you or something, you know. But I don't know. It's a hard one to explain that scenario because you just feel like, am I out of place here? Is something actually around us, or am I playing my own mind?
Yeah.
But that's when I'm around Jews, it's easier to get right. If I'm feeling the same here, are you feeling the same? Is Kim feeling the same? Is Luke feeling the same? You know. And if you get generally people who feels exactly the same, I think you get more of a bounce of it, or you raise each other's. I don't know the word of it is. You raise each other's like sensitivity towards it all.
But I don't think we're the sort of team that will agree with something just for the sake of agreeing with something. If you're feeling a certain way and I'm not, I will say, I'm
No,
not
because we
feeling
always
that.
argue about it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It's like if we're on the Ouija board and the glass actually moves, we're all arguing amongst that's you.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's you.
Well, it's one
I
of them ones
think
with
that's
mainstream
good.
media again. Like you said before about the question, it's like when we investigate, we let the guests go on the Ouija board. And we
Yeah.
try our best not to let the Breaking Paranormal members on it, because if we are shown on the Ouija board and it's moving around the planchette and what's going to make us look like we're fixing it.
Yeah.
And we're not about that. We're rather, obviously, you've paid the money to come along. It's your investigation, such. We're just here for information or guidance and stuff. You know what I mean? But like, if we're sitting there in a Ouija board with you and you're moving it, and it's moving, we'll get blamed for moving it. They'll go, "Oh, she's doing that. She's on the team. She's moving the planchette for you."
Yeah. Exactly.
So I try to stay off it when the guests are right,
Yeah.
don't we?
Or we
Yeah.
ask.
It's the best thing we do, though. It's one of the best things I think we do. We let the guests enjoy themselves and we let them guests investigate. And sometimes we've had it before where it's like an awkward silence and nobody wants to speak out because of confidence in that. And don't get us wrong, I understand that. But
Yeah.
when that's what we're there for, we'll provoke the investigation. And then once they get a buzz for it, and something happens, and you see the guests get really excited and say, "Oh, can you do that again for me, please?" And you're like, "Oh, they're actually getting involved now." And it's really, to me, I like that sort of stuff. It's just when seen before with what Luke was saying, is when they're saying like, "Oh, I've just wasted £25 on this." And all I can literally do is apologise, but I'm not going to go in another room and start banging, slapping my feet down, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Just because you want to get something happen.
You feel like you should tap dance or sing them a song or something, don't you?
Yeah.
When nothing's happening.
Yeah. I feel like you have to do something and stuff like that, but at the same time, it's just one of them ones where I'm not going to ruin my reputation and the Breaking Paranormal reputation, because it's going to bring us all down. The next thing you know, because the paranormal world can be quite bitchy. We've seen it done in the past. We've seen it before, and there's loads of groups, people slating each other off and that, and we're not getting involved in that at all. I think it's the right thing that we do, stay the way out of it. But sometimes you kind of can't help it. You want to throw out the odd comment in, like, you know what I mean?
No, me and Kim has been part of it before, so we've been
Yeah.
through it all now. We stay back, don't we?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I do love watching a good live, which you lot know.
Like a good little bit of drama.
I do know everything that's happening.
The amount of popcorn you must go through watching all them things.
But I find them
Morning,
entertaining.
the other day.
I find them entertaining in their own right, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, they don't half get the views.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't blame them. Fair. If they're advertising it right and they're doing it right, then I don't blame them. It's fair play to them. And sometimes, I mean, there's some of them where you're like, "Come on, mate, it's a bit too far, that." But who hate a comment? Because if it was just an air shoe sort of thing, I enjoy the views. I enjoy that sort of stuff, you know. And I think I like watching other teams because I get, sometimes they've got like better knowledge or they've got better like, you know, and it's better techniques. Like, I've actually never tried that before.
Yeah.
That's
so we'll try it the next one. It's not
work together, like do stuff together, so we can learn off each other.
But that
was a good one in was it the Justice House where I went to, and there's like 4 teams together.
National Justice Museum.
Yeah. And I think that was a good idea. That I think maybe there's too many teams, but I think if we start getting the contacts out there and speaking to the teams and that, well, trying to help us out with this sort of thing. Understandable, there's COVID and that going on, but that para-unity, I believe in that sort of stuff. I think because they can learn stuff off us and we can learn off them.
That's what we did at Dread Cloud Tunnels a couple of months ago. Last month, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was mainly other teams.
Yeah.
So
that's good though.
But now with COVID, it's hard to get places.
Yeah.
Just gotta go abandoned.
The prices get higher. The prices get higher, and they won't let you have that many people in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we had one last week booked at Yorkshire Aircraft Museum.
Yeah.
There's only 10 of us going, but they won't let us go in.
Yeah.
So.
No.
Some of the locations you do, it's finding it.
The thing is, for me, it's one of them ones where, like, Luke finds certain areas and Kim finds certain areas. I know we all put them all in the group chat and that, like, and we all put, like, I found this abandoned house or I found bits and bobs. And to me, the best thing with ghost hunting for investigation with me is the fact of you go to new experiences and you go to new places. And it's like, to me, it's not like a bucket list or anything. It's like, I've been there, I've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing happened, or that place is unbelievable. I'll go there again happily. And then you go there again, nothing happens. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
But to me, that's one of the biggest buzzes for me because I'm like, I haven't done that before. I want to go there again.
You should have come to Beach Caves because that actually really was quite good.
Let's get that. When you're free.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a nightmare at the minute.
Me too.
But like,
yeah.
Thing is, like tonight, I wish like we were all around there the same table tonight. I think we'd class because we're sitting there, maybe have a few couple of drinks that together. But it's all the banter, not like getting Morton and stuff, but like stuff like a podcast and that. I think it's quite professional in my eyes. I think it's quite good.
And they're ripping you.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there getting absolutely slated by all the team for no reason because I talk in a funny accent supposedly.
Right then. Is that it? Is that all you want to
Is that
ask?
you asked?
Do you want to ask anything else to Glenn?
No.
No, I think
Come here
that's
often.
it. You can get lost now. We don't need you
I
now.
can get lost now. Cheers, guys. Thanks for
You
being
go
there.
get drunk now.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers for that. Waiting for that.
We'll call you about 11 and ask you the same things. Yeah, see what you say then.
Oh my God, it will not be the same sentence. It'll be a mixture of jockanese, Geordinese, and something else. You might even catch us vomiting or something. You never know. Or I'll cover a mouthful of kebab.
Oh yeah.
What dogs, aren't we?
Yeah.
Right.
What he's getting?
What?
No, but the dogs
said
have
you-
blue lights and a lead lights and what the dogs down ram.
We're off to
Oh, right. I
embarrass
thought
the
you
dog.
were going to order in. I thought you were going to
No,
order
no.
in. I was like, oh, I'm up for that.
So just as a conclusion then, Glenn, you think
Yeah.
that overall, the paranormal, it's not taken seriously in the media?
No, I don't think it is sometimes, no.
That's your
No.
final answer?
It is, yes. No 50-50, no phone a friend.
Right. Okay. That's all we
Thank
needed
you.
to know. That's it.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
And thanks for the chat, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
All the best. Yeah, I'll
Have
see you. I'll
fun.
give you a message later on anyway when I'm really drunk and crying.
Alright.
I'll see you later, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
that was Glenn. He's been on about, I say, he's come up to 2 years now, so he's all right, I suppose, in his ways, isn't he?
All right.
I'm only joking, Glenn.
What was that? So earlier we talked about Most Haunted, and you know we do talk badly of it quite a bit, but I wanted to say that if it wasn't for Most Haunted, I wouldn't have actually got involved with the paranormal because it literally introduced me to the paranormal. I didn't know that ghost hunting was even a thing until I watched Most Haunted. I would have been about 12 when it first came out.
That makes me
And
feel old.
yeah,
I think for me, I think it was the X-Files. When I started watching that when I was like 13, 14.
the X-Files.
Yeah.
That's
It's nothing to do with ghosts. Well, not
90s.
really, but more aliens that got me into it, and then the theme tune used to scare me. And obviously then I got onto Most Haunted.
Yeah.
Supernatural. Love Supernatural.
But that's
But like I say, Most Haunted is what you probably got you to up and go out to ghost hunt on events, on actual ghost hunts. So yeah, but now it's like everything. To keep them on the telly, they've got to do more and more each season. And I feel that the evidence was there, but now it's not, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think their heart was in the right place when they first started out. I think they genuinely wanted to find out whether or not paranormal was real or not.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day when it was Yvette Fielding, Carl Stewart, Derek Acora, who is he's a legend. Even if you don't believe in what he was doing, you can't say he weren't entertaining. I mean, the guy literally got possessed by a monkey.
Yeah.
You can't write that.
What a guy.
He's a great guy. Bless him. Shame we didn't get to meet him.
Yeah.
I would have actually really liked to have worked with him, to be fair.
Would have been good.
He would have been, I think he would have been an interesting character to
Yeah.
meet. But, you know, I feel like, definitely with Derek, the whole possession idea of being took over by a ghost and a ghost communicating through them.
Oh yeah, everyone does it now, though, don't they?
Derek must have started that off.
Must have.
I remember the first time I ever seen him do that, and I was spooked. I was like, oh my god, there is a young boy talking through Derek Acora.
Also, when you see it though, the first thing you see it like I don't know, but when it first started, you get involved, don't you? Obviously, the more you do it, like the more you're in the paranormal field, the more you think, is it real?
Yeah.
Do you think someone else can take over your body and speak through your voice?
Yeah. You don't think
I
that?
don't think that. I don't
But you
believe
see,
it
that
anyway.
could
Like
be.
it's just called trancing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where mediums are said to let the energy of the spirit take over their body, to give us their information, to give us their voice, etc.
Can you remember the first time watching that on Most Haunted?
Oh, yeah, I crap myself.
Did it spook you out?
Yeah, it
did
would.
you think, oh my
That's
god?
what I'm saying. But watching it back then, you thought it grabbed you.
Yeah.
But now, nah.
I after you've seen it quite
Yeah.
a bit. I think the Mary loves Dick bit, and then the fact that you've seen Yvette laughing on the break and
Oh,
going,
yeah,
I can't
after it.
believe you just said that, and how quick he was to like just snap out of it. So if you imagine like a spirit going inside your body and then you end up talking like someone else and then they go, can you imagine the energy? Like you'd feel knackered.
Yeah.
And you'd think, where am I? What
Exactly.
happened? There was none of that. Maybe he's just used to it.
Probably used to it.
Because
Yeah,
it happened
it's
to him
made
all the
money,
time. So maybe that's probably why. But it just seemed like a bit of a joke, didn't it? That whole Mary Loves Dick.
Yeah.
It was like a little bit of a prank. Whether or not it was, it might have just been just a funny thing that happened and they couldn't help the souls.
Obviously I think his name was Richard, wasn't he? Obviously Dick for short, so
Oh yeah, she
I
loved
just
the
got it
dick.
wrong.
that's what he says. Not the. Oh, I said the,
Yeah,
didn't
you
I?
said
Not,
the Mary loves the dick.
it was just Mary Loves
Mary
Dick,
Loves
wasn't
Dick,
it? Not the
yeah.
dick. But
Anyway,
yeah.
yeah.
The thing is though, it gives you classic episodes like that. You still talk about it today, and it is funny.
Yeah.
It was funny to watch. And on about the lives, like I remember a particular live where there was at Pendle Hill, and this is where I think things went a bit downhill for them in terms of being serious, because I mean this is my own personal opinion on this, it's not like set in stone, but a lot happened in that live. Everyone was passing out, everyone was feeling sick, and the comments, because they used to get like text messages and things like that, was like going crazy. It's like, oh my god, I'm so scared, my cat's licking my TV, I think my cat's turned
I can't say I missed that one. I can't say I've seen that.
it's probably on YouTube somewhere if you look
I
it
think
up.
the one I liked is they had that big Tesla coil thing.
Yeah, they used to do experiments.
That
on
was
lives.
pretty cool. I wouldn't mind trying one of them.
Yeah.
They had a massive like Tesla coil and it's like zapping electricity to it, so it was all the days. I think we should try that.
Yeah, we can try that.
Yeah, a
But-
big 6 feet Tesla coil. And yeah.
But yeah, I think that live was where it went downhill because they had that many comments and that much attention. They realised we need to do this all the time because we're gonna get people are gonna talk about us more.
Yeah.
But I actually think they're clever because when they do, let's fake it. Right? Let's fake it.
No, let's not fake it.
Let's face it, right? They've been caught for faking stuff. They have. And I actually think they've done it on purpose. They've made it obvious. Say like the last live that they did at 30 East Drive. Everyone knows the bit where you can see Carl, he's got rope around his body. Can you remember it? Or is it behind his back?
I've not
On
seen
the
it.
stairs.
I gave up on them ages ago.
You must have heard about the rope situation. There was a rope situation with Carl, and it was plain to see on camera, and you can see it in some like in being grabbed backwards, like it was something about him being pushed or something like that, but you could clearly see this rope. And I think
I'll have a look at that later.
yeah, I think they do it on purpose to get everyone to go, oh, that's so fake. That's so fake. It gets people talking, even when they're faking stuff. And you even watch it because you know they're going to fake stuff. Like, when they first came back, we all was like, oh, God, what they're going to be like. What they're going to fake tonight. And you sit there and you watch it and you look for what they fake.
Yeah, you try and get it, don't you?
And they won't care because to them, it's still a view. So I think if anything, it's clever what they do, even though they do fake it. Whether, you know.
That's what I'm saying. It keeps it on the TV.
Yeah.
Obviously, all this is just our opinion, by the way.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna go down that line, obviously with mainstream TV, you gotta make it entertaining to keep on the telly. If you're not gonna get the viewers in, they're gonna get rid of you.
Yeah. I'm gonna read something. Chapter 4. Read first paragraph I've noted down, and it's about Most Wanted. So I'm just gonna, and then you can tell me what you think. Let me just find the chapter. Should be that far back. She says. So, it's here. This is all my sticky notes from when I did my dissertation. normal people did the dissertation about, like, I don't know, how's blogs changing social media and the news. How's the news changing? Not me.
Didn't you even make your own magazine?
Yeah, and it had like werewolves in it and stuff. So I've got here that reality paranormal TV is an example of armchair ghost hunting, a sub-genre of reality TV. These kinds of shows depict ghost hunting as it happens, following paranormal teams on nighttime investigations in allegedly haunted locations. For legal purposes, these programs are labelled as entertainment, alongside other psychic services. Shows such as Most Haunted, I can't say this word, specifically, leave issues of evidence and I can't even say this word.
Authenticity.
I can't even say it.
Authenticity.
Open to multiple meanings, allowing audience to decide for themselves what may be happening. The tension between the entertainment frame and the reality claims in ghost hunting TV is the basis from which these investigations, by watching, listening, using webcams, texting comments, and sharing their thoughts and feelings. Audience awareness that the paranormal phenomena are extremely rare and difficult to document makes the chances of a haunting being captured on camera highly unlikely. As one viewer said of ghosts, you can't make them jump through hoops. At the same time, hope is built into the production of the show and audience engagement with it in the possibility that something paranormal might happen on TV. What I wanted to say about this was talking about the lives that they used to do and how Most Haunted were the first show for me that got me involved in the paranormal. I also think, in a way, we have got them to thank for sort of like the social media lives.
Yeah.
Because it's the same sort of concept. You're watching a team investigate live on social media, and then you're obviously getting the chance to join in by, obviously commenting, saying that you can see stuff or you can hear something. And it's all part of this, they're called armchair ghost hunters. That's what the audience is called.
Yeah, it's like, I think they probably get a sense of feeling safer from the armchair doing a ghost hunt rather than actually going out and doing it.
Yeah. So
kind of thing.
You gotta look at the pros and cons of Most Haunted. Yeah, they probably fake stuff towards it. They fake stuff. Yeah, but you got them to thank for things. They were the first to sort of do that concept of having a medium, a historian, and then obviously the ghost hunters.
Yeah.
I think also what makes them good is that they were relatable. It was all new for them as well. It wasn't like, they're not experts, are they? Yvette wasn't an expert ghost hunter. She was just, she's a presenter. It was new to her as well. And then
an actress as well, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was an actress. Well, yeah, that's
Blue Peter.
Actress. Blue Peter. She was on Stars and Rise.
Oh yeah.
She did Annie Lennox. She did quite well actually. I love Stars and Rise.
Also, you got Facebook as well. Obviously, with everyone be able to live on Facebook now, you've got tens, thousands probably not doing Facebook lives.
It's popular,
it's
isn't it?
very
Facebook
popular.
Lives. But one thing that got me is this comment of one viewer says you can't expect spirits to jump through hoops. When you're on a ghost hunt, you ask, can you make noise? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I can understand where they're coming from. It does sound like we're asking a lot from a spirit. They're not here to entertain us. Like the real ghost hunting, really, if you want to do it properly, is literally apparently what you're supposed to do is leave a camera in a room with a device. You're supposed to sit outside watching the CCTV, and there's going to be no contamination in the room because you're not in the room. That's really realistically the real way of investigating, but it's boring. It's a boring way. You don't want to watch that.
No. You
don't watch someone watching a room.
We've done it ourselves, haven't we? We'll set CCTV up and then we'll go out and we'll watch the monitor. And there's no interest in it, is there?
It's boring. Let's be realistic. Like, come on, you don't want to watch that. And I don't agree with you know, you're making them jump through hoops. How else are you supposed to communicate with them? I mean, if you're going to look back through history, you've got the Fox sisters, you know, back Victorian days, Victorian spiritualism and all that. You got the Fox sisters in America, and they were the first to actually use. I think it's called the rapping, tapping. I want to call it a syndrome, but it's not a syndrome. Technique, yeah. So they were the first to sort of go. If you're here, can you knock once for yes, twice for no? They were actually the first ones to do that, and that was in the Victorian days.
Oh, so I reckon that would have been the proper ghost hunting as well, because you got none of these equipments.
Yeah.
No EVP. You got no ITC. You just got the Victorian ghost hunting method, which I prefer is my.
It's your
Which is my go-to way. I like equipment. Don't get me wrong. I use it, but I do like a good séance.
So they had a spirit guide, the Fox sisters did, known as Mr. Splitfoot, and they used to speak to him in forms of raps, once for yes and twice for no. So this was all the way back in the Victorian days. Yeah. So are you going to now say that they were expecting spirits to, you know, be a monkey and do tricks? Were they doing that? Or is it just Most Haunted that do that? Because they're literally doing the same thing as what they would be doing.
Would have been doing, yeah.
So
obviously, if they was doing the seances, they still could have got possessed or trancing, should I say? Because you said they used to be able to take pictures of the ectoplasm coming out of the mouths and stuff, didn't they?
Yeah, and they used to do. They did shows all across America. These sisters did. So seances, table tipping, you know, all that sort of stuff. That's what they used to do. Really, Most Haunted basically took that and made a TV show out of it. Let's face it, that's literally it in a nutshell. It's just that for some reason, well, we know the reason. It was for more views. They just seemed to be more bothered about faking stuff to grab the views. And even if you knew they were faking it, you would still watch it because you're looking for what they're faking.
Yeah.
Come on, admit it. We're all done it. Yeah. We've all put an episode of Most Haunted on, and we've gone, here we go. Who's gonna throw a stone? Which one is it? Which direction is it coming from? Stuart looks a bit dodgy. Don't even get me started on Fred Bat, because he's terrible for it. But again, he's another legend. I would like to meet Fred Bat.
If you're watching Fred,
he probably wouldn't now. They probably wouldn't want to meet us now.
Probably not.
Kind of slated them. Well, we haven't, because I've given them credit.
Just a review.
Credit where credit is. You know, they were the first to sort of do, and half of these events company wouldn't be started up, and they definitely brought the interest in. For as an events company, they're great because it gets people to want to get up and do it for themselves. And I would, if for anyone that hasn't ever done a ghost hunt, don't ever just watch the TV. Actually go out and do it.
Yeah,
because
definitely do it.
That's the only way you're going to really know how it is.
Yeah.
Don't go off of what you see on TV.
No way. Don't like say just don't. TV is there to grab you in, to get the views, to keep it on TV. Ghost hunting is you could be sat there for hours before getting something, kind of thing. Yeah. So don't believe everything you see on TV or reading the paper.
So I feel moving on, let's move on to magazines, which have been going a lot longer.
Yeah.
You've always had your Fate and Fortune magazines.
Take a break,
and you know, and we've got one here. Take a break, Fate and Fortune. We're actually on this one.
Yeah, we're on this one. It was our medium story.
It's our medium story, yeah.
We got told by a medium about some stuff that was going to happen.
And we got paid £100 for it. So.
We got paid for it.
Yeah, there we are. Fortune in our future. So basically what happened, we went to a couple of mediums, didn't we?
Yeah.
And each medium that we went to said that you're going to come into a bit of money, and then you won
Super 6, yeah.
Super 6.
250 grand.
And it was just interesting because we've been to a couple of mediums and they said similar stuff.
They said you're gonna come into a bit of money, but you're gonna buy your own house, and you're gonna get a new car, which happened in turn.
Yeah.
And then she said you're gonna have twin boys, which hasn't happened yet.
It's not happening.
So if that does happen, then
that would be really
cool.
weird. Yeah, but it's not going to, so don't worry about that. So yeah, and I just wanted to point out sort of like some of the headlines on this magazine. It's a bit crazy. So we've got here Call the Exorcist, which is literally going to grab your attention straight away because you're going to think of the film.
Yeah.
Possessed as I lay in my hospital bed. Graveyard Ghost brought me my soulmate. That sounds interesting. My son sends me Christmas presents from heaven. Discover your spirit guide. And this would have been to do with ours. Money magic. Turn a fiver into it must not have been.
Turn a fiver into a fortune.
Turn a fiver into a fortune. The Christmas angels have a sign for you. This is the main one. This is the big headline on the front cover. Invaded by evil spirit. My home is a portal for the dead. Can you see how like?
Obviously, that's there. That's on the shelf. You see that, you're gonna go, ooh, I'll pick that up and have a read. Basically, mainstream media. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Grabbing you in.
Grabbing you in. I'm sure I read one where the headline was something like Henry VIII uses my toilet.
Yeah, like you say, you got that woman now who keeps banging on about marrying a ghost.
Yeah.
And having
which
sex
is what
with
I've
a ghost.
got on here.
And having, what is it, the latest one? She's divorcing this ghost.
No, she's not even.
No,
married.
she's called her marriage off.
Called her marriage off.
Because he did drugs.
Yeah, her name is, I don't know if I'm gonna pronounce this right. It's Amethyst Realm. That's her name.
Amethyst Realm.
Amethyst, I'm sure, is if you look it up on Google, Luke.
It's a stone, isn't it?
It's a stone. So, is this might be a real name, but realm, Amethyst Realm. It literally sounds like something off World of Warcraft. So is that even a real name?
Probably not. If you was good on telly, was saying that kind of stuff, are you gonna tell your real name?
I don't know. Well, I tried to look her up on Facebook. I actually found some.
She's a bit of a stalker.
No, because I was actually going to ask if she'd come on the show.
Aye.
Because I actually would like to speak to her. Generally speak to her, because I want to see what. Because if you watch the actual clips on this morning, there's a bit where you can see they don't take it seriously. Obviously, you can see that they're trying to stop themselves from laughing.
Yeah.
And what was I going to say? Yeah, there's a bit where you can see that Holly and Phil, they want to laugh at her, they want to have a giggle. To them, it's probably
they're probably doing their dressing room when they get back.
Yeah, they're right, bitch. And she sort of has Amethyst has a little bit of a smile when she's talking, as if she knows they're not really taking her seriously. But I don't know if she's being serious or not. I don't know, but I would love to have actually spoken to her because I would like to see how they actually treat her off camera, and see what she actually like. What are they like in person? Because if they're like that in front of the camera, I don't know. We'll
have to try and get her on.
It's hard because I can see it's a hard one because the story is like, wow, like we've just been reading off these. It's like, but then like I said to Glenn earlier when we was talking, because we spoke about her a little bit. Who are we to say that she's not had this experience? Who are we to like not think that to her she has? Don't get me wrong, I can't pinpoint if she's joking or not, because she does this thing like her mouth does that little corner.
Well, see, in her head it's real. To us, it's not. And then you obviously put yourself in the middle. Yeah. And actually see her side to it, and then see our side to it. But then, like I say, she's got to do the same. Whether people are going to believe her or not, people aren't going to believe her. People think she's doing it for attention, doing it for money. We don't know. I don't see why you would.
How much do you get paid for going on this morning?
I don't know if you do or not, but I mean, like the media coverage she probably gets as well. And like you say, magazines and papers. Like I say, we've got.
Oh God, a magazine like this would love her.
Exactly. So So is she doing it for that, or what? We will never know until we actually speak to her.
Yeah, I would generally like to speak to her, and it would have been nice if we could have got her on this show because of what we're talking about. You know, because at the end of the day, it's people's stories. They generally believe that they've been going through this, you know, and it's like that. People who could have watched Help My House Is Haunted with my story could have gone, God, she's mad.
Yeah.
You know.
Probably did.
Whatever. It's just not nice to see, you know, people that are being genuine and they're coming forward to tell their story for people to actually mock.
Yeah.
You know. But I am not saying that when I watched this that I was like, this is normal. I wasn't. I was like, oh my God.
I didn't believe her straight away.
Yeah. You didn't believe her?
But I say you've got to put yourself in the middle, haven't you?
Yeah.
And actually try and get the full story somehow.
Yeah, because all we see is what we see on This Morning.
Yeah.
And I think for them it is a joke. It's a pure
Of course
joke.
it is.
And there was a Halloween special because she's been a regular guest, and there was a Halloween special, and they tried to talk to her fiance, who's named Ray. That's
Who's
his
the spirit?
That's his name, and he's been around for over 1,000 years, and they first met in Australia, and I believe they had sex on the plane. So she's joined the Mile High Club. And there was she came back for the Halloween special, and she brought Ray on, and Phil tried to talk to Ray, and it's literally the camera pointing at the sofa, and it was just so awkward, and it was funny.
Yeah.
We was laughing. You just laughed.
Yeah.
And you've not even seen it, have you?
No.
I'll have to show you it. But you know, it's not nice though if you really think about it.
Oh, it wasn't nice for her. But like I say,
But does she? I think she knows.
Is she in on it, or is it real?
Is she having the last laugh? That's why I was like, just spoke to her.
Yeah, she spoke to her.
If anyone knows her.
But she could have gone through all sorts in her life. She could have gone through a big breakup of I don't know, which has led her to go down this route. We don't know.
Well, some people have commented and said, "Oh, she must have mental health issues."
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like, she's.
So if you're out watching Amethyst, get on. Get in touch with us.
Am I even saying Amethyst right?
Amethyst, yeah.
Amethyst. Do you know how I spelled it? Hammer, fist. HAMMERFIST.
She's got dyslexic.
That's what. Because I was trying to hear how they were saying it, and all I could think of was a hammer and a fist. So, yeah.
So I think we should fist bump for that. That's a good one, Kim.
Okay. So yeah. So overall, then, with everything that we've said, what's your conclusion? Do you think the paranormal is taken seriously or not?
No. Do you?
Do you think it's a bad thing?
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it gets people interested in the paranormal, like I say it did with us.
Mm.
But I don't think people should take it seriously at all on the TV.
No, same. And I think a lot of, like I said earlier, a lot of people's stories get exaggerated for views. So don't always believe everything you see on there either.
I think if you want to go ghost hunting, you need to go out with a team or on your own and just go and do it. Yeah. Don't watch it on TV. Obviously, you still watch it on TV. Don't get me wrong, we still do. Yeah. It can get entertaining, but I say it is there only for entertainment purposes only. Yeah. Or just like I say, go on YouTube.
There's loads of YouTube, even lives. Yeah. I like to watch the lives. I'm really enjoying a lot of people's lives, actually. I know you, because he has to put up with it, you see. He has to watch them with me when I put them on.
But I mean, like when you're watching your lives, it's not ghost hunting. You're just watching people talk about ghost hunting. And that's what annoys me.
Yeah, but we're talking about ghost hunting.
Yeah, I know.
We've started to go down that line.
But we still do it.
Yeah, true.
But the ones
not all of them. I
keep watching.
I do watch Investigate. I watched one the other night. Okay. Didn't I? But they was having loads of stuff happen. That's why I was watching. I was really intrigued.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
You know who I'm on about now?
Yeah.
Who I was watching. So I won't say the names because you just don't know. You can say you can't, can you? Really?
Just keep out the drama.
Keep out the drama. But you know, I say if you want to actually experience the paranormal for real, you need to go on a ghost hunt, a proper one, or try it out for yourself.
Couldn't you just go to your local woods or something? Just
Take a
call it out.
torch.
Take a torch, take a camera.
Ask for things to happen, and you never know.
You never know.
So yeah, that's it really.
So shall we leave it at there?
To that, we will be doing another show. We're just not sure what our subject's going to be. If there's a subject you want us to talk about,
If you want to come on and join us, give us a message.
give us a message.
We'll get you on.
I would
for a
like
chat.
to apologise if we have offended anyone with our opinions. I don't feel like we have said anything that's too
No.
personal, but if we have,
If you have,
apologise.
we apologise. Yeah, just give us a message and we'll speak about it.
But I don't. It's just opinions. Everyone's different. Everyone's got a different opinion.
But if you're in the paranormal world, everyone's got their own opinions.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah. So
Till next time.
till next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.